students, welcome to today's session. This is Sweta Roy, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu, and today we are going to start with a new poem, with a wonderful poem that is "No Men Are Foreign," which is quite relevant in today's context as well. And this is from your NCERT Class 9 book. So before starting with the poem, let me talk a little bit about online education, which we are providing all of you. So the problems which you face during education, during your learning, which tries to hinder your learning, we have tried to identify the problems. So let's see if you agree with me or not. Doubts, notes, tests and assignments, competitive exams, choice of schedule, choice of language. So these are the problems which you face. Tell me guys, yes or no? Right? You face these problems, right? So don't worry guys, we have also come up with a solution. And what are the solutions? All the problems have been solved. Doubts, you are going to get personalized attention in our platform so that all the doubts that you have absolutely clarified. Notes, teachers' handwritten notes available to you. Tests and assignments, yes, you are also going to get tests and assignments that we will conduct, and you're going to receive a progress report of your performance, right? Isn't that amazing, guys? And quite helpful as well. Competitive exams also have been taken care of. Schedule, flexible. You will be provided time slots. Choose your time slot according to your own convenience. And the choice of language as well. If you are comfortable in Hindi, choose your medium as medium of instruction as Hindi. If not, choose your medium of instruction as English. So that is also very flexible. Plus, we have bonus, unlimited live classes, micro course, crash course, performance report, personalized attention. Yes, guys. So do not miss this wonderful opportunity, guys. What you need to do is visit vdntin/ytpro. Choose your grade, choose your board, choose your details, check out your details. Click on get subscription. You have 3 types of subscription: 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Whatever is convenient for you, go for it, guys. 1 month is before application, 2699 application of what? Coupon code. Yes. 2699 after that, 2294. 3 months, 6999 after applying the coupon code. Sorry, 5949. 6 months is 11499 after applying the coupon code. It's 9774. So guys, quite interesting, right? And at a quite reasonable price, which is, I think, not provided by any of the platform, right? So do not miss this amazing opportunity, guys. Please do get yourselves enrolled and to enjoy the benefits of our Vedantu classes. Just visit vdnt.in/YTPro using the coupon code SWRPRO. Do not miss the coupon code, guys, because that is going to give you the discount, right? And do not miss the amazing opportunity. I'm really looking forward to all of you, to see all of you in our Vedantu platform very soon. I'm sure everyone is going to get yourselves enrolled, right? So now let's talk about our session for today. It's a wonderful poem, No Men Are Foreign, by James Kirkup. So James Kirkup is an English poet, translator, and he's also a travel writer. He has written 30 books, right? Over 30 books, including biographies, novels, plays, etc. Autobiographies, I'm sorry. And he also wrote under many pen names. And he also became the fellow of Royal Society of Literature in 1962. And now we are going to, in today's session, we are going to analyze the entire poem, right? So let's see. Let's start with the poem, and let's start with a beautiful quote which is quite relatable to the poem itself, and that is, every human is like other humans, some other humans, and no other human. So let's move ahead with this positive thought in our mind with the poem. Please do keep the poem with you. I have also kept the poem along with me so that I can read out the poem to you and you can relate with the explanation very well. So the poem, the stanza first stanza says, remember, no men are strange, no countries are foreign, beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this. in which we all shall die. So the poet from the very beginning tries to focus upon the concept of globalization, concept of universal brotherhood when he says, no men are foreign, no men are strange. Why do you consider some people coming from some other land as a foreigner? He is like you and like me. He is also a human being. Just because he is living in a country which is separated by a border, that doesn't mean that he should be discriminated. He should face discrimination. So now, before when I'm talking about all this, let me remind you. Let me tell you a little bit about the background when this poem was written. When this poem was written, the World War II came to an end, and people, they were trying to oppose the rule of the colonized, right? So at that point of time, they were actually opposing the racial, the sense of racial supremacy that was going on at that point of time, right? So that was the backdrop of this poem, right? So the poem is trying to tell us to the poet is trying to tell us to shatter the boundaries, right, and think that we are all one. So he wants to unite us, and he says that if beneath all the uniform there is a body, there is a human body, right? Which the human body, that human body which takes the air, which takes oxygen just as we do. So what is the difference between him and him and me? Is it just the uniform which is separating him from me, right? And the land which he is walking upon, that is also a part of the earth. So Amitabh Ghosh, he's a wonderful writer, and in one of his novels, he's a diasporic writer, and in one of his novels called The Shadow Lines, he has very wonderfully said that boundaries exist in mind. So when we think about boundaries, there is no actual boundary. It is just imagination, and like it is existing more in our mind, right? Because when in that, so if you read if you read the novel, then you will be understanding, right? So very, very, very important is this factor that we should think ourselves as brothers and sisters. Like we should propagate the concept of globalization, universalization, universal brotherhood, so that there is no enmity between a person belonging to country A and another person belonging to country Z, for that matter, right? So very, very, very important. And in the second stanza, he says, they too aware of sun and air and water. So you can see here we are. I'm showing you the pictures of the soldiers of different countries, right? And the poet is saying that they are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. So what is he saying? That inside the uniform worn by the soldiers of different countries, what is the similarity? Although the uniform is different, the country is different, but one thing is very similar. That is, trying to create a bond between us, and that is the bond of humanity, right? Every beneath every uniform there is a human being, and that is the point of similarity, the humanity, right? So God has made us all in the same way. We breathe in the same way, right? So that is something which is important. And question for you guys, what does the author say about these soldiers? What does the author say about the soldiers? So please do write in the comment section. Then in the second stanza, the poet says that that nature has given us all the bounties. Okay? Everyone gets sunlight, water, equal measures, and God does not differentiate between anyone, right? And we all do farming during the time of peace when there is no war. So this is what the poet is saying, and he also says that the same way we also starve during war. So whenever there is war, so you can see very subtly he is trying to point out the futility of war. So why are we fighting? What are we fighting for? Just a piece of land, right? So have we tried to ponder about this fact? What are we going to get out of just a piece of land, right? Ultimately, that is causing huge destruction. A piece of land and mass butchering of soldiers. So think about this, right? So during winter, what happens during wartime? There is starvation, right? Because there is emergency situation, and it is only during the harvest, like during the peace, that there is harvest. So foreigners who belong to another country and we, all of us are same. How are we same? Because we are all humans. So try to embrace the humanity, try to forget the differences according to the country, right? So that is something which is very important, which the poet has tried to highlight throughout his poem. And then the poet says that even their hands are same. Just as we work hard, they also work hard, right? So hands of labor, lines of labor. That means hard working, laborious, jobs, right? So there is no difference between me. So I am also working in my country. The other people is also working in his country. So we are all same, right? So what is important over here is, again and again I'm repeating, is the word humanity. So human being, the word human needs to be understood over here, right? And that is the factor that has been emphasized throughout the poem. Then, in the third stanza, one second, the poet says, remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. So they have the same eyes that sleep and then wake up, right? And then we should keep in mind that people of another country whom we think that he is belonging to some other country, so he is the enemy. But have we thought about the general mass? They are also having the same things like we are. This idea has been ingrained in our mind so badly that we are always thinking of hatred towards the person who is in the other country. So the poet is trying to constantly remind us of the bond that we share, the bond of humanity and the bond that we share with divinity as well, because God has created all human beings, right? So we are all connected with that Almighty because we are all humans, right? So we have all same appearance, the appearance of a human being, having the same eyes, same hands, we all perform the same labor, we sleep the same way, we have the same cycle, right? So that is very important. So what should we remember? What has the poet told us to remember? That is the question for you. And then next is, let me read the next one. One second. Yes. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. Very, very, very crucial stanza and very important for us to understand, especially in this time, right? So when we are picking up arms against the other country, remember that you are fighting against your own brother, because you also are bound by the same bond, that is the bond of humanity. So therefore the other person who is living in other country is your brother. Constantly is trying to propagate the concept of universal brotherhood. So he is trying to ingrain in us the feeling of love and respect for the person belonging to the other country, because we have been the deep-seated hatred is still there at one corner of our mind, which we are not able to let go. So the poet is constantly harping upon that, right? So we should not take up arms against the other country simply on the context of simply on the basis of the fact that they are belonging to the other country, right? So the poet says that we should remember that whenever someone tells us to hate a person, to think of him as our enemy, right? We deprive ourselves, we are depriving ourselves, we are betraying ourselves, because that person at the other side is our brother. So basically he is trying to give a lesson on peace. He's trying to preach peace, universal brotherhood, which is very essential in especially today's context, where we are all aware about whatever is happening around the entire nation, especially the border areas, and what kind of life the people over there are facing. And he says that we should stay away from such negativity. So if every nation, every country starts to think in this way, the concept of war will gradually get eliminated. There would be no war, right? And there will be universal peace, universal brotherhood, everyone living at peace, right? So if every person from the next country is thinking in the same direction, is thinking of spreading love, spreading peace, instead of trying to occupy the other's land constantly, then of course one day there will come that there will be no war, and there will be only peace and harmony, people living in peace and harmony. And that is exactly what the poet is trying to convey through this poem. So definitely we should not consider anyone as our enemy, because whenever war happens, there is no victory. The word victorious in war is very ironical, because both sides have huge losses. The soldiers have to, sacrifice their lives. There is mass butchering of young lives, wastage of young lives for in the name of war. And not only the soldiers, but yes, also the sometimes common people's lives are also taken away in as collateral damage. We call that collateral damage, right? So the poet says that war is not something that we should you know uh, look forward to. We should always look forward to spreading peace, spreading love, spreading universal brotherhood. And whenever we pick up the weapons, okay, this is the last paragraph, last stanza. So let me read that out to you. Right. So it is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere or our own. Remember, no men are foreign, no country is strange. So this is a refrain. No men are foreign, no country is strange. This is a kind of refrain running throughout the poem, emphasizing on the concept of universal brotherhood, peace, love, right? So whenever we are picking up weapons against any person, we make the earth dirty. Why? Because people, when they are killed, their bodies fall on earth and it is becoming dirty. So whenever war happens, there are so many slaughters, right? So many, so much bloodshed, and their dead bodies that accumulate on the earth makes it impure. So you can take it as an anti-war poem as well, right? So it has some features of anti-war, because it is also propagating peace instead of war. So war is not the solution to the problem, but definitely peace, universal brotherhood is. So if every person think in the same line, then of course one day there is not going to be any warfare, and people are going to survive peacefully, living in harmony, loving each other. Question, according to the poet, what pollutes our world? Then the fire of war which erupts, the smoke which comes out, the dust which fills the air is so dirty that it pollutes and outrages the purity of air. So that is also a harm to the environment, right? So definitely the poet is constantly telling us not to get involved in war, right? Finally, he ends the poem by writing again the first line, but this time in reverse, saying, remember, no men are foreign, no countries strange. This is the vocabulary. So if you have found out any word which is not easy, which is new for you, so please go through the list of vocabulary. You will be able to understand, right? And now, again, a reminder of not forgetting to get yourselves quickly enrolled to the Vedantu platform so that we can make our learning great, uninterrupted, right? So these are the steps. Choose your grade, choose your board, check out the details, click on get subscription. You can select any subscription that you want, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. But before applying the coupon, the price is of course more, but if you apply the coupon, it is giving you discounts. So do not miss this amazing opportunity, guys. Visit vdnt.in/ytpro using the coupon code SWRPRO. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have carried a very strong message which is conveyed in this poem. So I would request you in the comment section, do put down your thoughts about what do you feel the poet is, the poem is trying to convey to us, and what message have you received from the poem as a reader. So do not forget, guys, to jot down your points. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.